Okay, most of you wanted a video on Honda Transalp 750, its specs, how it performs in different terrains. So I have my very good friend Harit. He bought this bike as a replacement of Himalayan 450 because he used to own that a couple of months before this. So Harit, tell us everything about your experience from buying the bike from big Honda stores, how this bike behaves in trails. You've also been to some light touring till Jaipur, right?
Yeah, that's so. I haven't ridden this bike for long distances at a stretch for too much.
Yeah.
But I have done about 10,000 kilometers on this bike. It's been about 1 year of ownership. And yeah, I love the bike. I think it does a lot of things very well. Everything from commuting. I think it's a really good bike for commuting because it has a lot of power relative to at least most of the things that are on the road. Obviously, not your super bikes and everything, but for most day-to-day use, it's perfect. It does off-roading fairly well. It's not the best, but again, it keeps up with all the other bikes. And
When you say it is a really good commuter also, have you faced any heating issues since people have
it
that
heats up a
concern?
little bit, but relative to other big bikes, I think it's much better. I have one other bike, which I have a Triumph.
He has a Triumph Bobber Bonneville engine, which is in a supreme condition, and he adores that bike more than this one, I'm pretty sure.
I do. It's a prettier bike, but whereas that bike is pretty delicate, I just feel like I can take this bike over anything. It does it without a fuss. It does heat up a little bit, no doubt. Not uncomfortably so. Like the Bobber heats up uncomfortably.
Right.
A lot of the bigger bikes with the larger capacities heat up.
How's the comfort of the seat?
The comfort of the
I've
seat.
been to Jaipur
Yeah.
also in a day and then come back also.
So for me personally, I think the seat is a little soft. Should have been a little bit firmer. But overall, for shorter commutes and especially for your commuting and everything, definitely the seat's very, very good. For longer commutes, after 1 or 2 hours, it gets a bit soft.
It gets a bit soft, meaning you start to feel a little fatigue and
Yeah, I feel fatigue in my lower backs. Correct. That is true. And but otherwise, actually very comfortable. And especially if you're carrying two up, right? The rear part of the seat is really wide, and everyone I've carried at the back has said this is very comfortable. Overall, it's a very smooth bike. I think there's barely any vibrations, and
yeah, the Honda engine, right?
the Honda engine, and I can't say enough good things about the engine. I think the engine is the star of the show. It does everything without a fuss. It's absolutely flawless in I haven't come across a situation where I felt like I wished I had more, or I wished this engine. It's never disappointed me, and after the roughest of trails and going off road and just taking it off through the worst patches, water wading and whatnot, there's no sound. This engine doesn't make a fuss about anything else.
There's more than enough ground clearance also, right?
There is a lot of ground clearance. There could be more ground clearance for a proper off-roading bike, but I think this is good enough unless you're really going for it. I think for the kind of off-roading that I do, and even for like the recreational off-roading that we end up doing.
Recreational meaning the weekend trails that we do.
Weekend trails, yeah, for off-roading for like no other reason but to off-road. It's pretty good. It does everything it's supposed to do, and it does bottom out, but yeah.
It doesn't bottom out, did you say?
It does bottom out a little bit sometimes, but it's got a massive steel plate which I've had put on, and
It's good to have bash plate, right?
yeah. So that bash plate is actually pretty heavy duty, so it does absorb everything quite well. So I haven't had a problem with it at all.
Amazing. While you are taking this bike out of your parking, do you feel that the bike is top heavy or the bike is not really heavy?
I don't know.
Low traffic?
Not at all.
Considering the fact that he's also tall. By the way, he's taller than I am. He's 6'3", I'm 6'2".
Yeah.
I'm just wearing heels.
But no, I mean, see, it helps being tall for sure, but I don't think the bike, when you get on it, it's not just me, even some of the shorter people that have ridden it, the first thing everyone says is it's surprisingly light for how large it looks. It weighs about 207, 210 kg, something like that. But it doesn't feel it. And it's really easy to maneuver in traffic. I think the steering angle, the range of the steering angle is a lot. So you're able to maneuver through traffic quite easily.
So the turn radius is much generous.
And the turn radius is really, really good. Taking U-turns. In city, I don't think, and I know this is a bold claim, but I genuinely don't think, given the power that this bike has, given the ground clearance that this bike has for our road conditions, I don't think there are many other machines out there that can do it as well and as effortlessly.
What he means is you can take it on the footpaths as well.
You can take it. I mean, I don't do that, but
But don't do that.
yeah, never do that. Don't break the laws. I don't do that. But if someone is trying to do it, you can show them. And
How it's done.
how it's done, I've heard. So
No, that's good. That's good. And Because I know that you have been to some night rides as well.
Yeah.
How's the visibility on the headlights?
The headlamps end up pretty dog shit.
Pretty what?
Dog shit.
Are you thinking of installing any auxiliary lights?
I should install auxiliary lights on this. The headlights aren't very good at all. They might as well not be there. Yeah, that's one area where I think they really should. I mean, I don't know. Most bikes generally. I had the Himalayan I had before this was worse. So
But since you had Himalayan and that did have the touring windshield on it, how is this windshield compared to that in terms of wind buffeting and all that? Since you have taken
So,
the just
I
Jeep.
am at 6'3", and at my particular height, that stock windshield does the sole job of collecting air and pushing it to my face.
You feel then
There's a lot of
neck
buffeting.
fatigue also.
Yeah, there's a lot of buffeting. But that's for my height. If you are anything shorter, even 6'2", 6'5", my dad has written this. He's 6'2".
Right.
He's perfectly fine. He's completely shielded. Actually, does a pretty good job, the windshield. But for taller than 6'3", it doesn't protect you very well.
Agreed.
But the thing is, I haven't been in very many super long rides, so I haven't felt the neck fatigue be such a big factor in my discomfort. I think the biggest factor of discomfort is the seat after a few hours of riding. That's about 2 or 3 hours of consecutive riding. You start feeling a lower back pain.
How's the stopping power in this?
Stopping
This has
power-
a dual disc brake up front.
It has a dual disc brake up front. Stopping power, again, it's like everything else. It's not the best in class, but it's more than enough, especially if you're doing like reasonable highway speeds. If you're doing 120, 140, which I don't, but if you are...
This does come with a cruise control also, or that
This does not come with a cruise
Does not
control.
come.
That is a massive miss, because for how comfortable this bike is and for its ability to sort of sit at triple digit speeds effortlessly, I don't know why it doesn't have cruise control. It should have cruise control. I miss that a lot. I mean, that's...
But can you get it aftermarket as an add-on from Honda?
You can, but it isn't natively sort of compatible with the system. So you don't get all the functionality. Like, you can't set 47 kilometers per hour. You can only set it in increments of 5 or 10 kilometers per hour. So it doesn't work flawlessly with that. And there's always incompatibility issues if you a third party sort of install, which doesn't sit well with the software. Also, you end up voiding a warranty. So I'm just going to be doing that. I think another very big issue with this is you've seen all the reviews. If you're watching this, then
I think this is going to be the first one.
no, there
There aren't many out there.
are quite a few reviews of like people riding this bike, and I think tubeless tires is...
That's one. I was going to come to that because you have faced puncture issues.
I have faced a puncture issue and it's left a scar. It basically, you have that in the back of your head at any point that this could get a puncture very easily. So that's another very big miss. I think they should have given that. You can get tubeless tires for this, but they're very expensive, and I think
You need cross-port tubeless rims for those.
cross-fork tubeless rim that you get in the Africa Twin, but those cost upwards of £1 lakh.
Wow.
Yeah. So on a bike that's already very expensive, I think they should have given it. That's a massive miss as well. But
So that brings me to the last question. How much did this cost you?
so
From next showroom to the delivery of the bike, and your experience with the Honda Big Wing showrooms.
X showroom, I think it's about 10 lakhs at the time I bought it. I bought it in 2025 January.
It's been a year then.
It's been
Happy anniversary.
over a year, yeah. Thank you. And I think with everything on road, it cost me around 11.5 lakhs. And with the accessories and everything, it came to about 13.5 lakhs.
What accessories have you added besides the
I only have the OEM accessories on. It's basically stock. It's got the crash guard, the engine protector, and the bash plate, and a radiator grill.
Oh, okay.
So those are the accessories that I have. But the quality and the fit and finish of these accessories is really, really good. I really like it. I think the way that they surround the bike is really good. The tolerances are really tight.
Honda.
And yeah, Honda accessories. So it doesn't rattle. They've taken a lot of abuse. I've dropped the bike on this side. There's a few dents and all. But
Battle scars.
battle scars, yeah.
Also, for your height, do you feel that these mirrors are adequate enough to show you the good, clearer picture of what's
So I
going
think
on?
mirrors are fine. I have no problem with the ergonomics of this. I have one small problem with the ergonomics. It's the placement of the horn button, but
Which is where?
the horn button is where usually the indicator stalk is, and the indicator stalk is where usually but that gets a little bit of getting used to. But ergonomics wise, the display wise, displays are very big, but the display is it does what I need it to do.
Nice.
And I'm not too interested in having too many connectivity features. It has connectivity features. They work all right. I don't use it much. Yeah, I think ergonomics wise, it's great. The mirrors are fantastic. I can see a lot. Like, they're really well built mirrors. They don't vibrate at all.
Do you miss a center stand on it?
I've never really needed a center stand as such.
Okay.
If I have to get my chain cleaned,
Then a paddock stand maybe. Or maybe just
paddock
come and
stand,
do
I come and give it to father.
because you're more of a city person only, right? Nothing against you, but I know that you like to do it more on the highways of the streets and all that, right?
Mostly ride. So I think so far 18 to 90% of what I've ridden this is on
That's
the
your
road.
style only.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also bad roads, and I think if you want a bike basically which does anything you ask it to do without a fuss,
Correct.
you don't have to think twice before doing anything.
Yes.
Just do it.
100%.
And you can be confident that after you're done doing it, it's gonna work like it did when you got it the first day.
Right.
This is the bike. It's just, I think there's a massive premium on having a peace of mind, which is this bike will work.
More and more important.
Yeah,
Have a peace of mind.
No matter what you do, the bike will work. It's really well engineered. Like, I cannot stress enough on how well engineered this machine is.
But I just genuinely thought that at 13 lakh of price, it should have come with adjustable front suspensions also.
It doesn't have adjustable suspension. Actually, the suspensions are really, really soft. So that's good when you're riding on the roads. But obviously, we're doing really hardcore off-roading. And yeah, for some of the more challenging terrains, even for hardcore cornering, I think the suspensions could have been adjustable. It does have preload adjust, but not too much in the turn.
It does have preload adjustability?
It does have preload adjustability.
But then when is adjustable? That's fine then. That's fine.
But it doesn't have damping and
Okay.
rebound. So I think suspensions stock are a bit soft. They fixed that in the new models, but it's fine for me, honestly. I think it's very comfortable. And unless you're like a super hardcore rider which is taking corners at super high speeds and going for, if you're climbing
It's a
a
pretty
mountain,
easy going bike.
it's a really easy going bike.
Yep. Amazing.
So I would definitely recommend it to anyone who wants a fuss-free bike. And I had a lot of issues with the Royal Enfield Himalayan when I got it. I bought it very early on, like when it was released. So
One of the first batches.
yeah,
And you didn't have a really good experience on it. I know that I've seen it. It had multiple issues with it
multiple issues
out of the box. But then again, that's a one-off.
Yeah, it was a manufacturing
It's a matter of luck. Yes.
But that's not the reason why I gave the Himalayan away. I think it's just better to have. I enjoy having the power on tap.
Yes. More than enough in reserve.
More than enough in
easily overtake and do some speeds.
Himalayan's also a very good bike. I think in comparison, Himalayan is a much better off-roader than this. It's got the suspension on Himalayan is much nicer for off-roading. But I think this is smoother. Obviously, it's a much more expensive bike, so it's a lot smoother. It's got a lot more power, and I really like it. So I plan to keep it for a very long time. Yeah.
Amazing. So I think that's about it.
Yep. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, do press that like button and do comment your suggestions so that I can give more videos.
And if you don't like it, then
Press the like button twice.
no, just leave. No one likes you.
All right. Thank you so much. And we're done.